my name is Debbie McDonald and I'm from Port Hood, Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. I'd like to welcome you to my kitchen today as I share a recipe with you. It's for a lobster dip. In fact, it's a hot lobster dip, but it can also be served warm or even cold. It's that good. So I'm going to start by introducing the ingredients that we're going to need for this particular recipe today. Of course, we can't start any of our recipes without Philadelphia cream cheese. My fridge always has an abundance of cream cheese in it because it's so versatile. It can be used in so many recipes. Next, we are going to need some Miracle Whip. And I've measured out all of my ingredients prior to starting this because of the time frame that we're trying to stay within. So I've also taken the Philadelphia cream cheese, the 250 gram block, and I've softened it. And we're ready to start mixing in our 3/4 of a cup of mayonnaise in this. Now it is lobster season on the East Coast is where I live, and because of that I like to use lobster as often as I can throughout the season in recipes. The one that I will be making today calls for 2 cups of lobster. However, if you have more than that, you can certainly use it. It's not going to make a difference in your recipe. It's just going to make it that much more tasty. So I've mixed in the 3/4 of a cup of mayonnaise. I'm just going to give that a little mix around and soften it up even more. To that, we're going to add some dill, and dill is one of the beautiful ingredients to this time of the year that help to enhance the flavor of almost anything that we're making. So we're going to add in 3 tablespoons of fresh dill that I've given a nice fine chop to here, and that's 1, 2, and our final tablespoon, 3. I'm going to mix that around as well. Now I just want to point out that this dip, as I said, is quite versatile in addition to being tasty. It can be done just hot in a bowl and served with crackers, which I'm going to do today, but it can also be baked in a sourdough bread bowl, and you just simply buy a loaf of sourdough bread, hollow it out on the bottom and a little bit on the top, and fill it with your lobster mixture and heat it. If you are under a time constraint, it can also be done in the microwave before you add the lobster. You can heat up the cream cheese mixture and our cheese, which I will be adding at the end. I have a 1.5 cups of shredded cheddar cheese that will also be going in. But next, because I've mixed up the dill, the mayonnaise, and the cream cheese, I'm going to add 2 cups of lobster. And after measuring this out, it was chopped quite roughly because you want to have large chunks of lobster. You don't want it too fine because you want your guests that eat it to be able to get a good scoop of lobster each time that they put something either on their bread or their cracker. So I'm just going to add the whole 2 cups in, and we'll mix that around. Just for those of you who may not be familiar with the canners or the market size, the lobsters that I cooked for this were all canners. When I cook my lobster, I boil my water, I salt it quite generously, and I put the lobster in and cook them from that point on for 18 minutes, then put them on ice immediately to cool them. The recipe that I'm making today, I actually chopped up 3 canners to go in here. It gave me my 2 cups. So as I said, you can do 2 cups, you can do 3 cups. It's just going to make it that much tastier. Now I'm going to add my 1.5 cups of shredded cheese. Just mix that in and fold your cheese in very carefully. Oh, it looks great and it smells wonderful with that fresh dill. Great, so we're ready to go. It's that simple and that easy. Now, I've decided today that I was going to heat up my lobster dip in the oven. So I've taken the liberty of actually doing that prior to mixing this batch up, and I have some ready to come out of the oven and ready to serve with my crackers. If, however, you decided to do the bread bowl, you can heat your dip up in the oven, your mayonnaise, your Miracle Whip, without the lobster in it, also your cheese mixture, in the microwave for approximately 2 minutes. It'll warm it up, it'll start to melt the cheese. Fold in your lobster, and then you can actually put it in your bread bowl. It'll heat up very quickly. I would suggest you heat it at 375 for about 25 to 30 minutes in the bread bowl. Make sure that you triple foil the bread bowl and put it on a cookie sheet as well. It'll keep the bottom of it from getting too crisp. And then you're good to go. It can take it out and serve it, as I said, with slices of sourdough bread, so it's a good idea to get 2 loaves. Or you can serve it with crackers, which I'm going to do today. So I'm just going to take our finished product out of the oven and show you what it looks like. So I've heated it up in a dish here, very great for the oven, and put our spreader in here, and maybe we'll have a little bite to see how it tastes. It comes out beautifully here, and you can just put lots and lots of lobster on your crackers. In fact, I have multi-grain crackers and rice crackers today. So, I hope you enjoyed my recipe, and it is, as I said, lobster season on the East Coast, so it's the best time of year to make this. But I also want to mention that it freezes beautifully. I've done that so that I have it throughout the year. If you take 2 or 3 layers of plastic wrap, you can line a plastic container and just put your lobster dip in. Make sure you close it very carefully and put the top on, and you're good to go then. It'll last you for up to 6 months. Take it out and just let it thaw. Put it in your bread bowl or put it in one of your stoneware dishes to heat up. And it's just like you've made it, and it's fresh. So thank you for joining me. As I said, I hope you enjoy this recipe. Thanks.